Good morning everybody and welcome back to the channel. And we're up to the 10th Doctor. Now, before I start talking about the 10th Doctor, the person who regenerated in was David Tennant, and he was a big fan of Doctor Who. He actually got to meet Tom Baker when he was young. So let's continue with our Doctor Who and the David Tennant series. Now we start off with the Christmas special, the Christmas invasion. Now what happens, they send this satellite out into space and it gets captured by the I can't pronounce their name, but a group of aliens. You can see them on the back, and they take over it and take control of some of the people because there's blood on there, and the people end up standing on the cliff of the edge of buildings. So the Doctor is still regenerating and he hasn't, fully recovered. So the second, whatever their names, want to take over the planet and that. And what happens is the Doctor gets his energy. The aliens draw the TARDIS up into the, as you can see at the bottom, the satellite. That satellite is or whatever, and they take over, and the Doctor ends up fighting the villain. And then, as he in the fight, he chops his hand off, but he's still regenerating, and he gets a new hand, so he continues. So he wins the fight, and he makes them leave, and that tells them that this planet is protected. But the Prime Minister, I can't think of her name, she turned up in the early story, and Jennifer or whatever, they destroy the ship, and that is the end of the Christmas special. And on this one, it's got the first episode of the new series, that is season 2, and this one was called New Earth because they travel forward to a planet called New Earth, and they come to a city what is New York, and lo and behold, they are cats, and they're like doctors, and they're doing bad things because they're sending everybody into zombies and that. And Lady Cassandra turns up. Just the skin. We have mentioned about her in the first series. And she turns up with a sidekick. And she takes over Rose. And as they're trying to fight the zombies and that, Cassandra keeps jumping from Rose into the Doctor. So the way they get rid of their disease, they get all this liquid and pour it into one, and they sort of spray it all over the people who have got this bad disease, and they get healthy in that. And what happens with Cassandra, she goes into a psychic, and they take her back in time to when Cassandra was alive, and a psychic dies, and at the same time the Doctor meets the face of Bo again, because he turned up in another episode to do with the one what was where the Earth was destroyed and that, and the face of Bo tells the Doctor that he will meet someone and they will meet again. And that is the end of our first part of our second series. And to follow up for our hold on, we got to get them into right order. Oh yeah, that is right, because I've just realised that. So for volume 2, I've just lost myself a minute ago. Lo and behold, we've got the Cybermen. Now, this is the rise of the Cybermen, because what happens, they end up going to a different dimension, and this person's taken over and he's doing his own, making Cybermen and turning people into the Cybermen. And at the same time, in this different dimension of Earth, her father's alive and that, and he's quite well off and that, and his mother, and Rose is a dog. But this is the first part of the 2-parter. So the next part is the Age of Steel. So this is where the Cybermen had taken control of London, and he's starting to control everybody and turning them into Cybermen. So Rose, Mickey are fighting to get rid of them. And so in the end, they destroyed the Cybermen, and Mickey decides to stay on this parallel Earth, and they go back, and as you can see on the back, the Cybermen. Now for our 3rd episode is 11, where they go back to 1963, and it's 1953. Sorry, 1953, where it's the coronation of the Queen, Elizabeth II, and lo and behold, there's the Wire. I think it is the Wire what's trying to take over everybody and suck them into the TV. So I think if I'm right, that might be right or I might be wrong. There is something going on, and the Doctor has to help to get them away and to save the planet and that, save everybody. And that's the end of our volume 3, season 2, volume 3. I don't know what's happened to volume 2. That might turn up. I've missed the volume somehow. I don't know why. Now we are into the impossible planet, where the Doctor lands on this planet, and it is where we first encounter this evil creature and the Ood in the black hole. And I think this is a 2-part episode, and the second part of it is the Satan's Pit, where the Doctor goes down to the planet and he meets the creature that is Satan. And as you can see, the Ood is on the front. And this is the first time we meet the Ood, because they will turn up in a later episode. Now, for our next one is A Love of Monsters. Now, this is set about a person who is an avid fan of ELO, and he has met the Doctor and that. And this creature on the back, who is played by I can't think of his name, but I expect someone will tell me who he is. Famous comedian, and he's the taking all the people and regenerating them into his body and that. And the Doctor has to destroy him. And what happens is the last person who he sort of takes into him, he gets into a like a slab, and it is the way the chap who's in love with her gets to talk to her and that, because he's doing his video and that, and how he meets the Doctor. And this is the end of volume episode 4. I mean, yeah, I'm missing one, so I don't know. Now we come to episode 5. No, yeah, episode 5, and we come to where Farah. And what happens is that this girl is drawing pictures of everybody, and they're disappearing. And it's set around London 2012, the Olympic Games and that. And everybody's vanishing off this street. So the Doctor vanishes, but he gets to find a way and gets to get the girl to destroy this creature what's living in the wardrobe. And you see the Doctor running with this torch, and the alien is like a little thing, so he throws it into where the light there, the flame and that. And for our next one, it's the army of ghosts. Now the Doctor and Rose return to where her mother is, because she's pretending to see people from her past and that. And this is connected with Torchwood Towers, and they've got a time thing what brings back, and they don't know these creatures what are sort of regenerating, and they think they are ghosts, are really Cybermen, and they came back. So this is a 2-part episode, and as you can see, the Cybermen and the Daleks. So the next episode is Doomsday, and as the two mighty armies clash, the Doctor is trying to save Earth from the disaster, and lo and behold, people from the parallel world come through this time thing and helps them to destroy the Doctor and the Daleks and the Cybermen. And in the end, they defeat them, and I think, if I'm sure, that Rose goes back with her mother to the parallel world. And that is the end of our season 2. And I'm sorry that I'm missing one. I don't know how that got mixed up. So we come to our Christmas special, and our guest is Catherine Tate. And what happens, she's a bridesmaid, and she gets drawn into the TARDIS on her wedding day. And lo and behold, this creature, Rachman, can't pronounce the thing, is taking over and using the Santa Claus again, and he's trying to suck all the water and destroy. And her husband to be is partly in with this creature. And in the end, the Doctor wins the day and sends this creature back in time to 4.6 billion years ago. And that's our Christmas special. The Runaway Bride, this is called. And for our next of our volume, this is Season 3, Volume 1. Now, the doctor lands and he's having contact with Martha Jones, and he's in hospital, and he says his name is Smith, Dr. Smith, and lo and behold, this woman is sucking everybody's brain, and as you can see, creatures are these enforcers, and they are trying. The hospital gets sucked onto the moon and that. So as you can see, the back of it. And for our next one, Shakespeare's Code. Now, what happens? They go back into time, and they meet Will Shakespeare, and he's under control of a deadly witches that are controlling him and trying to, make him write a play. And the doctor has to fight the creatures and sort of destroy them. Now, for our next one is Gridlock, and the doctor and Martha go back to New Earth in the future, only to find that the entire city is become dangerously trapped, and there's like a motorway, so everybody's in this motorway trying to get to the end, and lo and behold, there is a creature from the second Doctor's series, the original, and that is the Magna. I think it's the Magna, Chlora Magna. So this is where the Doctor has to sort of get out, and at the same time they bump into the face of Mo again, as you can see him on the back. So this is the end of season 2, and I think I know what happened to I don't know where it's gone now. This is episode 2 of season 3, and this is where the Daleks invade Manhattan. They go back to the year 1936, New York, where they are trying to build the Empire State Building and the top of the Empire State Building. And these people are helping them, not knowing that their masters are the Daleks. So for our next story in this, it's a two-parter, and this the evolution of the Daleks, because as the new emperor rises in, they are stuck in the 1930s New York. The Daleks must enter the Holy Alliance, and they turn someone into a Dalek human, as you can see the picture at the top. So for our next one, it is called 42. If I can work out the story, Martha and the Doctor have only 42 minutes to save the day as they spaceship heading towards a sun. So they have to fight their way to survive, and I can't think much about this one, as you can see, and that's the end of that one of volume 2. Now for our next one. Now, the Doctor, human nature. So what happens? The Doctor has to turn himself into a human and puts his memory into this timepiece. And Martha is like his servant, and they go back to Earth in 1913 at just to a school called Mr. Jones. He called himself Mr. Jones, as a strange dream of adventures in time and space, because there are creatures after him. So the second story, what is the continuum of it, is the family of blood. And these creatures are trying to find the Doctor to take his energy in that. And lo and behold, someone takes the watch and starts to open it, and all the energy comes out, and these creatures realise that the Doctor is there, and the family are trying to hurt the Doctor. But in the end, the Doctor succeeds and turns one of them into a scarecrow, puts one of them into like a black hole. So our next one introduces us to the Weeping Angels. So this story is set about two people and these angels, and you can't blink, because if you blink they move, and the Doctor is stuck in some world, and the two people have to help the Doctor to escape and stop the Weeping Angels. And the way they do it, they get in the TARDIS disappeared, and all the Weeping Angels are looking at each other and they freeze. So this is the first one that introduces us to the Weeping Angels. So that is episode 3. So for season 3, volume 4. Now the Doctor encounters Captain Jack. Captain Jack's back as Jack is back as the captain. Comes to Storm, where the Doctor lives again, and the TARDIS is thrown to the end of the universe. And they are trapped at this end of the universe, and at the same time there is another man. So this is like a 3-part story connecting it all together. So then the sound of the drums. So what happens, the professor opens the key and he turns into the master, and lo and behold, the master is Harry Saxon, and he wins the election and becomes Prime Minister. He reigns, he has a reign of terror, but his dark adversary is beyond the stars. So he escapes and uses the Doctor's TARDIS, and the way they get out of that is the Captain Jack uses time manipulator to bring back. And the last episode in this season is the last of the Time Lords, and they are on Earth, and the Doctor has to try to hide from the Master, but the Master has conquered everybody, and he turns the Doctor into an old person with the superpowers, and he's trying to destroy Earth with these creatures from the other planet, from the universe, from the story before. And Martha has gone through time, and it's a year later, and she's got this thing what makes her invisible. So she has to save the world and help. And Harry Saxon's wife shoots him. And as you can see the Master, Harry Saxon, and Martha, and Captain Jack, and Martha, and the Doctor, and those creatures who's killing everybody. So this is the final one of season 3. And now we go to the Christmas one. Now this one is the Voyage of Damned. Now this is about a ship. And this ship is heading to Earth. And the ship is called the Titanic. And these creatures, they're like angels, are killing everybody. And the Doctor finds out that the person who owns the ship is like a robot. And he's out to destroy everybody and that. And crash the ship. But because the captain wants to kill himself and crash the ship. So the Doctor has to help the people to get out and save the Earth and that. And at the same time, they go onto Earth from the ship, and they meet up with, I can't think of his name, Welf. And we will see Welf in later stories. Welf was played by the late, great Bernard Cribbins. So this is the end of the Christmas special. And now we come into season 4. And lo and behold, Martha Jones is turned up. And episode 1 is Partners in Crime. And this woman is using like a thing to take everybody's weight, and she's a Miss Foster, and she's looking after the whatever these little creatures. If you can see on the back up the top, they're like little creatures, but they get away and leave the planet and that. And for our next one, it's the Fire of Pompeii. So the Doctor lands in Pompeii with Martha Jones, and it's at the time when Pompeii is destroyed and that, and there's a creature, and lo and behold, there is one person who is Peter Capaldi, who later becomes the Doctor, but that's a different story. Now for our next one, the Doctor travels to the planet of the Ood, and the Doctor and the Donna to her first alien world. Donna's to her first alien world, and it's the Ood species who are in trouble and trying to deal with the human race. So for our next story is the Santanans. Now, Martha Jones and the Doctor go back to Earth, and an evil thing is waiting for them. The Santanans, as you can see on there, and they have sort of put this thing into the cars and that. And for our next one, they poison the sky, and lo and behold, Martha Jones turns up because she's working with UNIT, and they're trying to stop this Santana's choking Earth, and the Doctor battles to keep both Martha and Donna alive, and they succeed and get rid of this poison and get rid of the Santanas. And for the next one, it's called The Doctor's Daughter, and this is where they are on a planet where there are two races in, against each other. And at the same time, the Doctor meets an important woman of his life. And this, because what they've done, they regenerated, taken some of his energy and that from him and made him his daughter. And she escapes. She gets killed, but she escapes when the Doctor. So for our next one is the Encore of the Wasp. And we go back to the year of 1926, and Agatha Christie disappearing for 10 days. Was Agatha? No, this is to do with this wasp. Well, he's a person, and he's trying to kill everybody. And in the end, Agatha Christie faints and ends up at this hotel, and it's all connected with the Doctor. So this is the end of season 2, volume 4, season 4, volume 2. Now we're on volume 3, season 4, and now the Doctor lands in a library of silence, and the Doctor and Donna encounter a world of terror inside a abandoned library. They are given only a warning, caught by these shadows, because these shadows are like killing people. And this is like a 2-part story. And this next part is the story, The Forest of Death. And the shadows rise, and lo and behold, a young girl is involved, is stuck in a universe and that, and the alliance with the mystery, and mystery woman is Riversong, and we will meet Riversong, as you can see her at the end and that, in later stories, and this is where she dies, but lo and behold, she turns up later. And next we come to midnight, where the Doctor is trapped, powerless and terrified on a planet called Midlife, and he's as he knocks on the wall begins, and there's a creature taking over everybody and speaking through their voice. And as you can see at the top, there's Midnight in the corner, top corner. And they defeat and get back to Donna, because she's at somewhere else. So, for our next adventure in Volume 4, Season 4, we come to Left Turn. So this is where Donna is took over by a creature on her back, and everything she does is like she never meets the Doctor or encounters, as she's controlled by this creature to help her by the mystery. But Donna doesn't know that Rose is sort of stopping her from going to appear the darkness. So she does it and saves the day, because all it tails in with the Doctor, and then the Doctor dies and that, but they save the day. And our next one is called Soul Earth. And Earth's greatest heroes assemble to fight the new emperor, but therefore the old enemies are in the shadows. So that's this story. I think it's all connected with because the planets are disappearing. For our next story, it's the Journey's End. And as Davros and the Daleks are threatening the entire universe. The Daleks have captured the Doctor's companions join forces to revive their to fight the Daleks, and as you can see, there are Doctor's companions, Rose, Mickey, Donna, even Sarah Jane. There is a story somewhere, but I don't know where Sarah Jane turns up and meets the Doctor. That's one of the early ones in season 1, but I don't know where I put that. And in the end, they defeat the Daleks and gets all the planets back. And this is the end of season 4, volume 4. Now we're on to our Christmas one, because these next ones are light special, because the light special ones, you know, one-off stories, because excuse me, he didn't make a complete series for this year. So lo and behold, the Doctor for this Christmas special, it's called The Next Doctor. What happens? This person they go back to Christmas Eve 1851, and the Cybermen are stalking the snow of Victoria Earth when the Doctor arrives and starts to investigate the mystery. But there's another person pretending to be the Doctor. So this woman gets taken over by the Cybermen and made like cyber leader. And the Doctor, there is like a giant Cyberman, and the Doctor wins the day, and the other chap who he's pretending to be the Doctor gets his memory. And that's the first of our specials. Now for our next special. This is the Easter special of 2009, and it's like the Planet of Death. And this is where the Doctor, when a London boss is taken a tour to an alien world, the Doctor must join forces with the entire of Lady Cassandra, and the mystery planet holds a terrifying mystery hidden in the sand. And it's these, as you can see, these creatures that try and help the Doctor. And at the back, you can see the creatures what are like evil, and you can see the bosses being damaged, and units involved back on Earth, and they open up the corridor, and these creatures come through, and they have to destroy them and close the corridor and get the boss. And Cassandra is like arrested because she was steering this cop, but she escapes on the boss and gets away. And for our next one, this is like the 2000 autumn special, and this is the water of Mars, and this is where these creatures are get touched by the water on Mars, and they turn into light creatures, and they've got water coming out of them. And this is where the space station, it's set in March 2059. Barry Base 1, last recording message: don't drink the water, don't even touch it, not a drop, because the water is dangerous. And as you can see, there's the space station on Mars and that. And the Doctor saves everybody because all the people on this planet dies. And as you can see, the leader is by the Doctor, and they get back to Earth, and she shoots herself because she can't, deal with the situation. Now for our next one, it is a 2-part episode, and it's the Christmas one. Now this is the End of Time Part 1 and 2, the Christmas special, and lo and behold, the Master comes back, and he's partly energized and dying, and he gets back to Earth, and at the same time, Welf is got some people looking for the Doctor, because the Doctor comes back to Earth, and they find the Doctor, and they find these people are trying to regenerate the Doctor and the power, and at the same time, in Part 2, the Time Lords come back, and the Doctor keeps hearing the drums, the beat of the drums, and the Doctor has to fight them all and kill the Master and win the day with Welf. And at the end of this, what's Kathleen's Tate? Donna Nova is getting married, and the Doctor gives Welf and Donna's mother a lucky lottery ticket. What he borrowed a pound from Donna's father, and went back in time in that. Because at the end of this, the Doctor regenerates, and he says, "I don't want to go," and he turns into our next Doctor. And this is the end of our season. You can see Bernard Cribbins at the top, and with John Sachs sings as the Master. So, and we've got a James Bond, Timothy Dalton, who played their major, the Time Lord leader. And this is where the Doctor regenerates, and this is the end of our talk about David Tennant's time as Doctor Who. But he will turn up again later on. So from David Tennant as the Doctor, I bid you a farewell. And if you enjoy this little chat about David Tennant's years as a Doctor, and you want to see more, I will continue this talks about the Doctor and the new season, and I'll bid you farewell for now.